Hello, I'm Carrie Gibson from EcoCentury Technologies, here on behalf of Sustainability Television. Joining me today is Mark Holden from Mark Holden Designs. He has created a scarf on behalf of the Breast Cancer Foundation that will be available during the month of October. And $10 will go towards the foundation. Also joining us is Lucy Hartz. She is not only a beautiful professional model, she's also a 5-year survivor of breast cancer, diagnosed at the age of 16. And she has kindly joined us today to meet Mark, who would like to present her with a scarf and tell us a little bit about his cause.
Thank you. Well, we have a complete line of scarves that we design, and we decided that for the month of October, this being pink, and it just seemed to be very fitting, and it falls very much in line with what we believe in terms of giving back and making a contribution to the planet, that we would take this one. All of our scarves are themed around the peace symbol, which I believe is where it all starts. It's peace from within, it's peace within our friends, our neighbors, our fellow countrymen. And a portion of every item that we sell throughout our entire scarf and accessory line goes to our Just Imagine Foundation, which then distributes funds locally and abroad to stimulate economic growth with new entrepreneurs and various other causes such as breast cancer and food banks and so forth.
Wonderful cause.
Yes, I'm very, very excited, and obviously we are all very passionate within the organization to be sending as much energy that way as we possibly can. So, Lucy, it's a real pleasure to meet you.
Thank
and
you so
I'm
much.
very moved, a 5-year survivor. So in honor of that, I'd like to present you with one of my scarves.
Thank you.
This is a beautiful 85% Model 15 silk.
Gorgeous.
These are made in Florence. It's the softest modal I've ever had my hands on, so
Thank you.
I hope it brings you warmth and peace and comfort,
Thank you so much.
and continues to spread the concept of peace and healing.
Thank you. It's gorgeous.
It looks beautiful on you.
Thank you.
And so where can we purchase these scarves?
These scarves are available in Vancouver at Boboli, Bluebird, Kiss and Makeup in West Vancouver, The Latest Scoop in West Vancouver, Moulet also has them as well, and there are other retailers joining as we gain momentum this month. It's quite exciting to see the response has been very, very positive.
That's wonderful. And more information can be found at www.markholden.com or on Facebook.
On Facebook, Mark Holden Fashion.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Carrie.
I'm at the Neverland Tea Salon here in the heart of Pitt. I'm joined today from some of our special guest models from the Hycroft Fashion Show, featuring Marianne Mascari's fashions, as the ladies are wearing it at this moment. And I'd like to introduce Miss Lucy Hartz, who is a 5-year survivor of breast cancer, very brave girl who has come to support the cause. And then there's, of course, Miss Teen Canada Petite, Miss Kathy Harder, and Lavinia Hiramath, Miss Earth. Very appropriate considering we are in the midst of Eco Fashion Week at this moment. So thank you for joining us, ladies.
Thank you.
And so how did you hear about the event for Miriam's fashion show at Hycroft in support of the Breast Cancer Foundation?
Well, as a professional model, I do a lot of networking. I actually met Lavanya through modeling at a runway show, and she told me about the event. And that's when I told her I was a breast cancer survivor, and so she got me in contact with Brandy and Cynthia, who were running the show, and introduced me to Miriam. And after that, it was just getting ready for the show, and I think it was a really good success, and I was really happy to be a part of it.
We were very happy to have you there.
Thank you.
It must have been quite the struggle, because 16 years old, being diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yeah. Well, at the time I was 16, so it was the last thing I expected to happen. When my boyfriend convinced me to go to the hospital for a small lump, I thought nothing of it, but after long it grew to 8 centimeters, and I had surgery, I had treatment. But at the time I thought my life was over. I was a model, I was just starting out, but after it was over, I've managed to get signed to a top agency, and I realized that there is life after cancer, and I can use it to do a lot more good. So
That is wonderful, and I'm sure they are very happy to have you as their spokesmodel.
oh yeah, no, I'm really happy I met these women. They're great ladies.
And it's wonderful that you ladies have come out to support the cause as well. So as Miss Teen Canada Petite, you're offered a wonderful platform to disseminate information to other young ladies your age. And what is this platform of being Miss Teen Canada Petite offering?
Miss Teen Canada Petite, as a trainer and recruiter for next year's delegates, it's really important for making a cause about us making a difference in the community. It's very important to be focused in the preventable measure of the breast cancer awareness. It's very important to know the focus and yeah.
Well, and I suppose as Miss Teen Canada, as Lucy has demonstrated, you know, unfortunately, that this is a concern for teenage girls. So what can people do?
Regular checkups, self-examination is very important for girls. It's very important to be aware about this cause.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And of course, we have Lavanya Haramath, who is Miss Earth BC, which is very topical at this moment with it being Eco Fashion Week and Sustainability Television, of course. And would you like to discuss how we can, as a global community, prevent the carcinogens and things that the toxins we're taking into our bodies that are causing these issues to begin with?
Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, I think that prevention is is the best way of approaching this, because as with breast cancer, as well as the environment, prevention is always better and more effective than trying to do damage control after the fact. I think that if we were all a little bit more responsible, socially responsible, environmentally responsible, we could, limit the way we use our natural resources. This is the National Water Cooperation Year declared by the UN, which means that all corporations, countries, and people need to work together rather than against each other, to save water, which is a life-giving resource today. So I think the focus is on cooperation, and just like with breast cancer, if you prevent it, I think the leading cause of deaths in women with breast cancer is that they don't detect it soon enough and they don't get their mammograms done regularly. So prevention is what I like to stress on.
It's certainly the key, isn't it? It's certainly better to prevent it than to be picking up the pieces afterwards. The lovely ladies are sporting fashions from Marianne Fashion, who is a local designer. She was the featured designer at the Hycroft Fashion Show, and she works with all reclaimed materials. She upcycles. She doesn't waste any fabric whatsoever, and the girls look absolutely beautiful. And so now we'll have a chat with Miriam and the organizers of the Hycroft Fashion Show. So thank you for joining us, Cynthia. It's lovely to have you here. I know you're an international stylist. And so what was the impetus to join forces with these other two ladies for the purpose of raising money for the Breast Cancer Foundation?
Thank you. Well, first of all, when I met Miriam, I thought her dresses were incredible. I thought she was so talented, and we wanted to match fashion with a philanthropic cause. So, Breast Cancer Foundation touched Miriam's family. Her mom was a breast cancer survivor. So we just incorporated all of those things together, and women supporting women, and we chose the venue of the University Women's Club. And I was we were so happy with how everything turned out, and it was an incredible experience, and I was happy to help organize it and MC the event, and it was a success, and I look forward to more.
Wonderful. And discussing the Perfume Foundation, and just talking about preventative measures, this is, I understand, creating cosmetic line?
That's a very good segue, actually. The Perfume Foundation is a new organization. We're trying to be sort of the seal of approval for ethics in fashion, ethics in manufacturing, and also ethics in cosmetics. And that there's a lot of chemicals and toxins in the dyes and fabrics. There's a lot of chemicals and toxins in cosmetics themselves, and people are putting these on their skin and they're absorbing them in their skin. And we really want to ensure that there's healthier alternatives out there. So I'm really excited about being part of the Perfume Foundation. I'm actually the style and image manager for that as well. And the sky's the limit. It's an inevitable trend, and prevention from all the toxins building up in your body. Speaking about cancer prevention and that kind of thing. So any new products, we're on the forefront of investigating them and researching them and deciding if there's something that we approve or not approve, and it's just a beautiful thing.
And welcome the very effervescent Mariam Ascari, the fashion designer behind the Hycroft Fashion Show, and of course, of Mariam Fashions here on Broadway in Kitsilano. Thank you for coming here today.
My pleasure.
And we spoke at length at the Hycroft Fashion Show about how you came to come from Iran and establish yourself as a designer here. Would you like to tell me why upcycling fabrics? How did you become so good at wasting nothing? Was there something in your childhood that gave you the training to do that?
First of all, thank you very much for having me here with Miss Cynthia Pace and Miss Randy Winter. And the previous interview, when I was a child, like let's say 3 years, 4 years, I always see my grandmother and my mom with the very old sewing machine with the handle. They sew dresses for us, pants. I saw my grandmother from a curtain fabric make a very wide pants for me, and I thought, oh, we can make from any recycled fabric a very nice creation that it's wearable. Like I do not even waste 1 centimeter of fabric, and I don't know what this happened, but it happened, and it turned very beautiful and very fabulous design. I don't know, like I know it is very beautiful, as we see, and this is a very old tablecloth, and I turn it to a very eye-catching dress.
It is beautiful. It's very stunning on you. And also, we understand that, the Breast Cancer Foundation, the cause is something rather dear to you. Would you like to tell us about how that came to be?
Hi, my name is Mariam Ascari. I am a fashion designer from Iran, but I live here for 10 years. Right now we are in University Women's Club, which is a very nice venue, and I did a beautiful fashion show for the benefit of the breast cancer. My mom is a survivor, and I had lots of ladies that they are survivor of breast cancer, and I am honored to help this cause and Breast Cancer Foundation. I had 2 beautiful collections of glamour and ethnic. Everyone really enjoyed, and I am happy. My mom teach me how to sew, how to create the dresses. Then I just encourage my passion, and my dream come very true. Right now I work in costume department for all these Hollywood movies too. I am honored that to live in Canada in peace, in like happy, like I can wear beautiful dress, I can be beautiful, and mostly I did this one because of the breast cancer, so I can do it each month. I donate all my time and all my heart to help this cause.
Sounds like
and this time it was a million times better because I had the most professional and experienced lady on beside me, and I really appreciate.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Mariam.
Thank you very much.
And of course, last but certainly not least, Ms. Randy Winter.
Well, my background is in travel, education, and in writing, and I believe that all of those things together are the critical ties that bind us together. And when people get to meet each other, even as we did, because the story of how we met, all of us sitting here today, is actually one beautiful large circle. A person meets somebody who in turn gives back another connection. And connection is really what this is all about, and that's what I think very important why we all did this. I met Mariam at Hycroft at the University Women's Club, and in turn I met Cynthia at a fashion show, and in turn I met you in Mariam's store, and in turn Cynthia introduced me to the vice chairman of the International Perfume Foundation, and in turn I'm a member of the BC Association of Travel Writers, and I met a photographer, and in turn. And I think if people just think about the assets that they have, which are their human connections, and their human connections in both positive ways and to causes that are important to them. It's really all about passion, and I think pink is a perfect color because it really is a color that designates passion, not just for breast cancer, but to be passionate about everything in your life. And if you carry that passion and you can ignite that in other people, that's really amazing. I decided a long time ago that I want to make a difference in the world, and I found out that if I can make a difference in one person's life every day, no matter how large or how small, that in effect, that really was making a difference in the world, because that will give somebody else the strength, the courage, and the hope to be able to take care of both themselves, to be able to get over and realize that some of the things that they're dealing with may be a temporary condition, but it, like in the story of Lucy, it absolutely doesn't limit us. If we can use those things to inspire us and to be able to pull together not just the sisterhood, but the world, because really we're all born of mothers. If you cut us, we bleed, and we all have a limited time on earth. What we do with this time is really critical. They say that the past is history and the future's a mystery, but they call now the present because it's a gift. And to be able to take something that was important to Mariam and to be able to figure out how to connect people together, because that's really what any event that you do, whether you're doing it in work, whether it's part of a social commitment that you have, whether it's a hobby, anything, you can take those passions and you can be able to use them to ignite a bigger movement and to be able to get people together. Nobody's saying that to take on an endeavor like this is simple, but it is so rewarding, and there's so much more to it than walking down the runway. I now have amazing, beautiful new friends. I have someone who considers me a grandmother, someone who considers me a mother. I have lifelong friends. We've raised significant funds for breast cancer. Every time I see Mariam's mom, it's incredible. I walked in the store and she just hugged me and said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And you could just see in her eyes. We all know people who've been affected by breast cancer. We all know people that are affected by issues that the environment definitely has played a part in, whether it's the food sources, whether it's how we choose to put those foods into our own body, or whether it is how the chemicals that are byproducts are affecting us on a global level. And those are all really, really important things. I think the one thing I'd like to say about all of this is that most people are very logical and they think that 1 + 1 = 2. But I think we're sitting here, and all of the people who you've interviewed for this project will attest to the fact that 1 + 1 is far greater than the mathematical sum of 2. It really is the universe. It is global issues. It touches us all. And I absolutely encourage all of you to think about what's in your heart, what's important to you, and think about how you can take your strengths, your passions, and be able to put them to a larger cause, which will give you a feeling that is way more than 2, that will open your world, literally and physically, and you never know where that little drop of water and that stone, where the ripples will go. And I absolutely encourage you to know that the sky is the limit.
And I'm Carrie Gibson, and you're watching Sustainability Television.